Okay, I'm just going to start today by rubbing this run down here. You can see the other day I tried to sort of touch it up with the paintbrush just to flatten it off a bit, but that will need rubbing down and repainting, and yeah, that one will too. It's looking a bit rough on the back side here, so I'll rub that down and redo that back section in this corner here. Okay, so I've rubbed that down, tacked the back and rubbed down the runs as best I can. I'm sure I could probably do more, but that will probably do for me. And I've set up a heater underneath, just to heat this area up a little bit, and also got this halogen lamp, these two halogen lamps on. So while that's warming up, what I'm doing here, I've just started to have a look at the electrics from that headlight issue that I had, and actually I'm hoping it's going to be quite simple, but what I've already seen is in these massive cables down here, you can see that connector there. Where are we? That connector just there seems to be virtually coming out of that plug. So I'm going to plug that back in, have a look at it, check the earths as well, and see if that does the trick. Okay, just to give you a little bit of an update here, I'm messing about with the cabling. So what I found just in here was a loose connection for this side light. So I tightened that up and cleaned up the terminals as well, because there's the one thing with the electrics on this car. I replaced the entire rear loom, and that's completely new, but the front loom is repaired and original. So a lot of these connectors here, they're all original, and I haven't actually undone them and cleaned them up. So I've been using actually the Dremel with a wire brush fitting, which actually, when you pull these off, it cleans up the connectors pretty well. So I was messing about underneath here, and then just by pushing this cabling loom here, that light came on at full blast. So it's obviously something to do with here. So I found the connectors for it, which are these here. So there is two red and blue cables here. One goes off to the right, two go off to the left. And I found they were pretty manky inside, so I cleaned all those up, and also the connector, and that did it, but then it stopped working again. So then I found under here, I know it's all there obviously because I put it all back, but there's an earthing point there, and I moved that around a little bit, and then the light went on and off. So I'm presuming there's an issue with the ground connection here. So I'm going to clean the paint away. There's a little bolt hole, where is it? Here, and it's not looking too clean, so certainly no clear bare metal there. So I'm going to clean that up, pinch those connectors together, and see if that works. Okay, so it's a bit difficult to get the camera up under there because this is right underneath the panel here at the front, but I've cleaned all of those terminals up. I've just noticed that one's actually still sticking out a little bit here, so I'll have to put this one back in. But I'm going to try the lights now and see if they work. Okay, so let's put that one back in. Let's see how best to do this. Put on the... Jesus. Okay. Can't really see anything with that light blaring, and for some odd reason it's not focusing. Why isn't the camera focusing? Okay, we'll try that again. So, moment of truth. Put the power back on. So, okay, moment of truth. Perfect. Two working headlights. Pleased with that. So it's obviously that bundle of cabling in there, which I showed you before, which joins up under here. I've still got to tidy it up a little bit, but there's an earth point there which was obviously a little bit dirty, which I've cleaned up in every way. It's that bolt there. And let me see if the hazard lights also still work. Look at that. They don't. That's pretty typical. So I'm going to have to trace all those cables back and see why that one isn't working. It's probably just a loose cable in there somewhere. There's a lot more faffing about in the cleaning up of earth terminals. all the lights work. So, one step closer to the MOT. Okay, so while I've got the grill off, I took the opportunity, I should say, to clean it up a little bit and glue all of the cracks that were in it. So that's just drying there. What I'm also going to do is secure these cables up more permanently up in there now that everything works. And otherwise, I'm going to clean up this battery holder and paint it black. Okay, so I'm just going to tidy up this battery bracket here, and I've got my paint heating up in the sun over there, and yeah, just smarten this up a bit. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Up at the workshop again today. It's pretty cold outside. It's been snowing this morning, so brilliant sunshine and 15 degrees yesterday, and today it's snowing. So that's what seems to be happening with the weather at the moment over here. But anyway, I have got the shutter closed today to keep it nice and cozy inside, or as cozy as I can actually make it. And let me just turn the camera around. So this is where we are. So you remember from yesterday I repainted that edge, did a whole bunch of stuff on the car itself, like fixing a couple of electrical issues. And although the paint isn't entirely hard, so some of the thicker parts, like where the paint got pretty thick in places, it's not entirely gone off. But I think what I'm going to do today is fit the Alpine windows and fit the upper skin or the top skin to the Safari roof. So essentially, if I get that far, so I haven't got a huge amount of time today, if I get that far, that will make this complete and ready to go onto the car. So quite exciting stuff. So I've bought some washing up liquid with me, and a special sort of hook tool which I saw somebody use on the internet to get those rubbers in, because they are by all accounts a bit of a nightmare. But otherwise fixing this skin onto there is pretty straightforward, just using the rivets that I've already bought. I also finished this yesterday, the battery holder, so I'll be fitting that a bit later on as well. But it's turned out quite nicely. I just used hammerite onto the bare metal. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of an update on these Alpine windows. My arms are absolutely knackered, and my fingers and thumbs too. It is unbelievably hard work to get these in. One of you guys sent me a link to Britannica Restorations where he does it, and he just makes it look so easy. I've got lubrication on here. I've got bloody Nora. It's so difficult. It's unbelievable. I'm just going literally, I won't even say inch by inch, centimetre by centimetre, just pushing this down with two little tools. And you know, you've got to be so careful that when you slip out, it doesn't scratch the glass or the paint, especially as it's all brand new paint. But I'm getting there. I'm probably, what's that, a third of the way done? No, oh Christ, just over a quarter actually. But I'm just going to keep going. But I'm not even bothering filming it even slow motion or time lapse, because it's just incredibly boring. But I'll give you an update later on. And I mean, it looks fantastic, but the work is incredible. The amount of work. That join is pretty much perfect there. This one is about 2 millimeters out. I don't know if I cut that too short or maybe it just pulled sort of round a little bit, but what I'll try and do, I don't suppose it will work though, is just to see if I can sort of push the rubber from this side to join it up. But if I can't, I'll just put a little bit of sealant in there. Black sealant, but that is looking pretty cool. Okay, so I got the second one done. I don't know if the second one went a little bit quicker than the first one, but the second one took me an hour and a half. Literally just inching my way around the rubber. So it's quite rewarding once you get it done, but it's a lot of work. So I don't know. You know, if you need a safari roof and you're umming and ahhing between £1,000 for one that's been, you know, done perfectly, or you know, maybe you pay £350, £400 for all the parts, or you know, one that needs refurbishing, I think you should think quite carefully about which one you go for, because as I say, cleaning up this one, painting it, doing the windows and so on has been a huge amount of work. But for me, obviously, it's a hobby, so you know, it's part of it for me, and I would never have done it any other way than I did it now, and it's been really interesting. Yeah, just to let you guys know, it's a lot of work. One other thing here, these are the nuts and bolts for these window rubbers, which I'm going to reuse, but these are pretty sort of quite corroded really, or just a bit manky. Some of them are still pretty bad, which I might swap out. But what I did was I cleaned them up as best I could, and then I heated them up, not until they're red hot, but very hot, and then I dropped them into some gear oil, and what happens is they sort of go this black colour, which is interesting. So I'm going to reuse those. But now I need to put the roof, or the top skin, on the roof. Okay, so just putting the skin on the top here, sort of the moment of truth really. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, those windows look amazing. Just going to line these up here. That's it. Lining those up. Just needs to come over a bit. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, that is the skin just laid on the top for the first time. These windows look fantastic. They really do. They look amazing. They're so clean. The new rubbers make it look brilliant too. A lot of work, not quite finished, but just absolutely worth it in the end. Those rubbers were incredibly difficult, but they're in now. I actually went round with the rubber mallet, which is on the workbench over there, and just sort of banged in that bead a little bit more, just so it sort of seats that bead. I don't know if you can see it. It's not really focusing. That bead there, that's the difficult one to get in. Okay, so I've put all of the rivets in that I've got. I've got a few missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 I've got to get. But yeah, they look fantastic. I love them. It's just like the finishing touch, really. New rivets. I did notice something here. There was one hole which goes all the way through the roof. You can see daylight through there, which I actually forgot to fill. So I'll have to fill that using rubber stops. So not quite sure why I forgot that one, but there we are. Happy days. But otherwise, looking great. Really pleased with it. It's going to look so amazingly cool when it's on the car. It's so big I can't even get a good angle of it on the phone.